Hello guys, and welcome to episode 3 of my Total War Warhammer 2 playthrough, playing as the Dark Elves on very hard difficulty. We are going for short campaign victory, and this is the Steel Faith Overhaul mod. Let's carry on. I think today we're just going to be starting by colonising Kragoth Deep and Stroktak Mount after the Beastmen destroyed those settlements for us and helped us defeat Haggrave. That is nice. We're not going to spend any of our cash for the time being because we are waiting for the Marble Quarry to upgrade. And that's everything done for this turn. So let's move on to the next one. I have looked into the mod a little bit more. There are a bunch of new units. We have a bunch of new buildings, I believe. I'll probably have to look into that actually. I also have to look into how to actually unlock the new units because we have seen them on the building browser. I think it's something to do with technology. Don't expect much to happen in the end turn. We might see the Beastmen destroy some more stuff, depending on who they're attacking next and who they're at war with. They are going to destroy the Circle of Destruction. Okay. So let's jump into the building browser. What do we need in order to unlock the Soul Skulls, for example? Requires the technology Divide and Conquer. Oh, let's not do that. Let's go into technologies. Where is Divide and Conquer? It's all the way up here. Yeah, so unlocks the recruitment of Soul Skulls. Is there any we can get here? There's actually quite a few we can get on the second tier. On the first tier we can get the Dreadblades, which are Black Ark Corsairs. What do we need to unlock level 2? The technologies required are Driven by Vengeance, Battle as Business, and Founded on Tyranny. Well, that's those 3. Okay. So after Battle as Business, it might be worth going for Driven by Vengeance just so that we can unlock the next set of technologies. Because if there's one that improves income, then we will want that sooner than later. Yeah, Purge the Weak, income from settlement buildings plus 10%. Very nice indeed. These ones reduce upkeep, so they're all worth getting as well. Oh, that's nice, plus 10% campaign map movement range. So yeah, we'll work on that. No need to spend our money for now though, because we're still waiting on the Marble Quarry. We can spend money in the Black Flood if we get enough growth, for example, to build up the buildings. But for now, let's just jump into Kragoth Deep. Not sure if I'm going to bother searching it. We could search it, potentially. It depends if we can decipher the puzzle. Sometimes the puzzles can be a bit annoying. Let's try it. So we've got the rubric of the old ones, and this one's just find out which one doesn't have a pair, I think. So I think it is this one. It is. Okay, we managed to get the Shield of Tolos and 2,500. That's actually pretty nice. Okay. I'm happy with that. We can actually give that to him. He doesn't have any armor yet. So that will give him an extra 5 melee defense. Cool. Still don't want to spend our cash though, so we will move on to the next turn. And we will make sure to colonize. Now currently we have 1,000 slaves. I believe that does unlock the right. And if we don't use that right now, we will probably lose most of our slaves. Because I'm not really focusing on buildings that stop slave decline rate. So the slave decline rate is going to be pretty high. I mean, we might not even have enough next turn. Yeah, maybe I missed my chance. That was something I was actually thinking about in between episodes. The fact that we're not really using slaves for income, so what else are we using them for? We may as well use them for rights. While we have them. Oh, we have just 1,000. Battler's business is complete, that's nice. Have a look at our rights here. Yeah, we could do the sacrifice to Cain. Income from post-battle loot plus 50%. It does last for 15 turns. It's 40 turns cooldown duration, and I think it's going to be probably that long until we have another 1,000 slaves to waste on this. So yeah, we'll just perform that right now. And actually, we're going to need the casualty replenishment rate anyway because we are colonizing these lands. That is going to complete this quest. Perfect. And we already have the battle to do. Interesting. I didn't realise that was such a quick quest line. Following a display of Malekith's temper, the Death Hags are suddenly more forthcoming. Malekith must indeed travel northwards to the Altar of Ultimate Darkness, a shrine of pure chaos. The power residing within the altar must be absorbed by the Circlet of Iron, before it can, ironically, be used against the Chaos Gods should Malekith step into the vortex and take dominion. I think what I like most about the Circlet is the Untainted, which is silly, but there we go. Doesn't look like a terribly hard battle. Let's put the money into Kragoth Deep, and we'll put the money into Haggrafe. That voice line reminded me of... what did that remind me of? Stronghold Crusader, I think it is. Yeah. The people are displeased, my lord. Right, let's jump into our research. Driven by vengeance. That's such a random thought. Okay. Yeah, one more turn until we actually use our money in the Iron Mountains, so that is fine. We don't care about the imminent rebellion. Let's just carry on. So next turn we will take Shroktak Mount. Then we can continue back to Haggrafe to deal with the rebellion that will inevitably spawn. It may be worth searching the ruins at Shroktak Mount, but I don't think it will give us enough time to get back to Haggrafe if we do that. We're much better off just colonizing straight away this turn, I think. I'll have to check what the public order is going to be next turn. And the Forge Bound have been destroyed. And the Marble Quarry is complete. Very nice. Let's upgrade Nagarond itself. We're currently -1 public order, but we can't actually reach Shroktak Mount this turn. So that's going to be -9. It's still not going to rebel. It's pretty close to rebelling, but not quite. Alright, that's fine.
Rebellion is coming.
What do we want to do now? We do actually have enough money to upgrade all of these crafting districts, which overall would give us a pretty decent amount of income. Like altogether they would give us an extra 150 a turn, but it would be a bit more than that because of Nagarond providing the income from all buildings bonus. So let's just do that with this extra money for the time being. An easy way to make money. Sacrifice to Mathlan. Let's just see what these actually require. This right will be unlocked after issuing Demand Highborn Hostages commandment. We should do that at some point. And then Sacrifice to Mathlan unlocked, but after constructing a slave pen building. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Maybe we want to build a slave pen building. When is that? It's that one. Since we've upgraded the marble quarry, we may as well do that. I think Harkaldra is the only place we want to, since at the Altar of Ultimate Darkness we can actually get a unique building here. So this is the only one with a spare slot for now, because we haven't upgraded Rakto Gorge. But we'll do that as well. 3,438 left in the bank. Let's move on to the next turn. We are going to have to save like a little bit of cash just because we want to colonize Short Track Mount. And I'm going to have to do it next turn because otherwise the turn after Haggrave will rebel and we won't get back there in time to stop the rebellion from taking Haggrave. Because the rebellion at Nagaron, for example, I think it only like takes 2 steps before it attacks. And Haggrave's garrison's not big enough to deal with that. And Clarkarond is pretty weak right now. We did just see their strength bar. Looks like they're getting demolished by the Beastmen.
Feel the power.
Black Flood will rebel this turn. Oh no, they still own Storagkor, Venomglade and Clarkarond, so I think they're okay.
My cruelty knows no limits.
Alright, we'll colonize that, thank you very much. And Public Order is still going to be shit, so there is still going to be a rebellion. And we can't actually turn off tax. Okay. Well, that's annoying. We are going to build up Short Track Mount. I may as well just put enforced tribute payments on. Or we could do read Dark Portents, so that we have the movement to get back to Haggrave. That might be a better idea. We're going to have to get back there in 2 turns, otherwise we are doomed. I'm saying that we might be doomed anyway. Shit. Didn't think about that. Because it's going to spawn this turn, and then next turn it will level up like it has at Nagaron, and they will attack Haggrave straight away, since it has a smaller garrison, I think. I guess we'll find out. Also, Malekith's army is in tatters because we just took a settlement. So this is going to get pretty difficult already. Let's just end the turn, see what happens. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But these are things that you kind of need to think about, especially in the early game. It seems that Public Order is still pissing me off though in this mod. I think Public Order is one of the most unfun mechanics in Total War right now. I don't remember it ever being an issue in like Medieval 2 or I don't know, Shogun 2 even. Public Order was never like a massive issue. Like, you could sort it out in a couple turns and then move on. Whereas in this game, in Warhammer 2 in general, it's probably one of the most irritating difficulty mechanics in the game. Like 100%. Skaven Lair, Sewer Guard. Ratcatchers guard the city against small vermin. The sewer guards protect it against larger foes. Armed to the teeth, they patrol the stinking darkness of the underground, setting up alarm traps and blocking any illegal entrances they find. Enlisting a sewer patrol will reduce the chance of Skaven raids in this region by half. It's at Nagaron. Sewer Watch lasts for 40 turns. It only costs 1,000 and it reduces Skaven corruption region-wide. It gives extra income from all buildings region-wide and reduces the chance of Skaven lair activities by half. Okay, I think we may as well do that. Faction destroyed, Deadwood Sentinels. So look, we're losing a lot of Dark Elf factions very quickly. And the Sacrifice to Mathan is unlocked since I believe we completed the Slave Pens. We did, nice. Alright, let's zoom back to Kragoth Deep. Aggraif is already under siege though.
Annihilate them!
Maybe we can just auto-resolve that.
Slaughter calls us!
Oh, that was a Pyrrhic victory. That was close. Okay, if we'd lost that, I would not have been happy. But we can ransom that, get some more money. Nice. And the garrison should start replenishing. We can do the same at Nagarond, actually.
The thrill of battle.
Close victory. Nice. And that's actually put us up to 10,000. I'm surprised that rebellion actually grew. That was pretty scary, actually. But job done. We can actually allow another rebellion to take place, and then we get even more money. I am, I think, going to invest in the walls at the Altar of Ultimate Darkness, though, since the third slot's definitely going to be the altar itself. So let's grab the watchtowers, and I think it's probably time to upgrade Rakdo Gorge. I think at some point we might also want to move the conscription halls to Rakdo Gorge. I think that they were originally available in Shroktak Mount. No, not Shroktak Mount. I think was it Rakdo Gorge? No, it can't have been Rakdo Gorge. I think one of the other settlements we took over already had a conscription halls in it, and we demolished it because we already had one in Nagarond. But now we're probably going to want to demolish the one in Nagarond, build it in Rakdo Gorge, so that we can fit more better buildings into Nagarond later on. We might not have to do it straight away, but say if I want to have both of the buildings here, the Black Tower of Malekith and the Towers of the Black Guard, we're going to need 2 slots. We've already filled that many. Then that will leave us with 3, in which we'll probably get the Den of Outlords, the Altar of Cain, and the Harpy Roost. I'll probably also want something like the Sorcerer's Abode, or even the Dreadmance. I mean, there's loads of the stuff here that I would like to get, and there's just not that many slots, so getting rid of the conscription halls is probably going to be necessary in the capital. Anyway, shall we upgrade the Temple of Cain?
The people are displeased.
I think we may as well, right? We've got the extra cash. Spending cash at this point is good to make money in the future, so yeah, I'm happy with that. We only have 2 slaves at the moment, those poor guys. Imagine being the last 2 alive. Not sure you'd be thankful to be alive under the watchful eye of the Dark Elves. Dark Elves are certainly pretty brutal. But we dealt with those rebellions, which is good. I didn't want to play out those battles. That's just boring fighting against those Dark Elf armies. We could have probably done the one at Nagarond, but I was willing to take the risk, I think. It's just such a fast way to get money. Just let the rebellion spawn. I am surprised, however, that the rebellion at Haggrave didn't build up, because if it did, it would have definitely taken the settlement. I mean, of course, it depends how intelligent the AI is, but... well, there's that. And if they're going to continue to do that, actually, do we even need to upgrade Haggrave? Like, that is a legitimate question. Well, not upgrade it, but defend it with Malekith. I don't think I do. We could probably just go somewhere else, like to the Circle of Destruction, for example, and start taking over this settlement. or this province. Or we could go and attack Grond.
All-powerful sorceress.
We can also complete our quest at some point. So for now we'll actually go to Hagrafe, I think. Although I do kind of want this to rebel, but I guess it still will. But I also want the replenishment at the same time, so I think that's okay. For technology, shall we upgrade? Income from Black Arcs plus 5%. I didn't realise Black Arcs made money. That might be something worth doing. Yeah, let's go towards Purge the Weak. And eventually we'll get ourselves a Black Arc. Now I would have said let's save the slaves and get a Black Arc ASAP, but I don't think we would have had enough because of the slave decline rate to actually get one. Unless we picked up more slaves from elsewhere. Which we haven't done yet because we destroyed the rebellions for money. Which I think is almost always worth doing over taking the slaves. Just because slaves just don't produce that much money. And they cause public order issues, which is something that I hate. Public order, it literally reminds me of the mechanics of Thrones of Britannia, where it was just added to be a pain in the ass, and rather than an actual fun mechanic. That is now done. And we have now got Public Order plus 2. Nice for Malekith. We actually have a quest to be at war with Grond. Well, that's convenient. I guess we'll attack Grond. Let's move to Nagarond. If I don't have to be in Nagarond, I don't think I will be. Although it might be worth doing so. I don't know, I kind of want the rebellion to pop sooner than later there. But we'll get the most replenishment from being in Nagaron, so I think it makes sense. We can actually build a resource building here, the Exotic Animal Tamer. It'll give us an extra 100 income. And let's change this as well to tax rate. Since the Read Dark Portents is no longer useful, since we've left the province. We should also change the one at Iron Mountains from the Read Dark Portents. That's completely pointless. Yeah, let's go to enforce tribute payments there as well. That should make us quite a bit of income, actually. As we move on to the next turn. I wonder if that rebellion that pops up near Hagrafe will be enough to take the settlement. What I might do is take the Great Arena next turn, and then if we're in range to defend Hagrafe, then we might move back and do so. If the rebellion decides to siege almost instantly. And if the auto-resolve is not in our favour. Because if it sieges us immediately and the auto-resolve is in our favour, then it actually doesn't matter. But yeah, we're going to move on to the Great Arena this turn, I think. It is a level 3 settlement. Is kicking off a war with Grond a decent idea? Oh, they are actually at war with Harganeth.
My cruelty knows
Okay, well, let's do it. We will have a pretty big advantage because of the quest being complete. So we'll take that. Thank you very much. I think I'm tempted to loot and occupy. We could also just sack it and carry on.
then burn it.
Now we're going to loot and occupy.
My coffers.
And Regiment of Renown unlocked. Pearl of Infinite Bleakness. That is an augment. It's also got Confident Attacker now. All good, let's fix these up. We probably don't need the Halls of Mustering, so we'll just delete that. I'll repair that. Rond isn't very well defended, so we'll go and attack that almost immediately. I think it also has gold, yeah, so definitely worth taking. This is absolute power. Plus 100% leadership aura size, extra character or aura leadership effect, and passive ability hold the line. For units within 40 meters, we get plus 5 melee defense and plus 5 leadership. So that in total, especially with an Inspiring Presence, gives us like plus 15% for nearby, or 15 leadership for nearby units. That's really strong. We'll use that. Cool.
Cease your provocations.
I'm probably going to wait until I have the population surplus to upgrade Hagreif, because then I can get the upgraded walls here. And that will provide us with an extra 6 units in the garrison, which is pretty nice. Do we want to upgrade Kragoth Deep while we're at it? I think we're going to have a look at Nagaron first. We've got 6,000. Actually, what we could do is maybe invest in another army. That might help us defend well. For now, let's upgrade the Stonemason's Workshop at Nagaron and just save the rest of the cash. And then when we get the extra 5% off construction cost, we can upgrade more buildings. Like especially the Dark Elf landing here. It actually doesn't cost that much and will give us an extra 200 income. So that's pretty damn nice. Also gives extra melee defense to our forces when under siege. Cool. I mean, by the way that the mod is going so far, it seems as though they've made garrisons stronger, so rebellions are more common. Maybe it's just a Dark Elf thing or something? Like, thematic? I don't know. So far the rebellions haven't actually been that bad. Usually I get really annoyed with like rebellions, but I've just been farming them for money. Harganeth would like a trade agreement. Probably should have taken that for the 400. We'll offer it to them next turn and see if we can make it work. Clark Calond has been destroyed. Oh shit. That was me saying, oh, they're fine. But nope, they're gone. Another Dark Elf faction destroyed. I think it's the 3rd Dark Elf faction we've seen destroyed this episode. That's quite something. Are we in range to attack Grond from the Great Arena? Because if we are, then they just left that completely exposed. Right, that army doesn't look big enough to take Hagreif. Hopefully it isn't. Because what I'm going to do is attack that. Auto resolve. We'll take the money. And I'm going to change this to demand highborn hostages to slow down the public order a bit, so that we have time to upgrade Haggrafe. I'm not going to upgrade these settlements just because I want to maintain the population surplus. We will build the Artisan's House at Shropshire Mount though. I think we are not in range to attack Grond this turn. That is a bummer. Would have been perfect if we could. I am going to put the money into the watchtowers though almost immediately. That's so frustrating. We are so close. Right, we'll move here anyway. Maybe we can raid. Yeah, we'll raid. 753 a turn and 376 slaves. Wow. Don't mind if I do. Right. With that being the case, I think I might upgrade the crafting district here. We'll be a bit more generous with our spending. But that is okay. Let's offer that trade agreement to Harganeth as well. Because we are at war with the same people now. Oh, they just took it anyway. Yeah, okay. So the reason I thought I could try that was because their attitude towards us would have increased in the end turn. So that's worked out nicely. There is an army over here. Aghol. Who are they at war with? They're at war with Grond. Okay, that's not good, because if they attack Grond and take Grond, or even raise Grond, I'm not going to be happy, because I'd much rather take the gold smelter while it's level 2 at least. We will see. Either way, we have no control over whether or not that would have happened or not. Probably would have happened regardless. Spite Reach was taken by Harganeth. Well, the Exiles of Nehek have declared war on the Court of Pleasure. We actually haven't met the Court of Pleasure yet. We do get, I think, increased relations with the Court of Pleasure, so it would be nice to meet them sooner than later, because then I can probably trade with them. Oh, is that army heading towards Harkaldra? That's going to be annoying. I'm still going to take Grond, because it's worth more. I think Harkaldra is just a level 1 settlement. We can just take Grond, take Ashrak, go back to Harkaldra. I'll probably start building walls at the Altar of Ultimate Darkness. I think that's probably the best bet, so that they can't take that. But that's actually completed our quest, the raiding. Completely forgot about the raiding. Wait. Raiding. We haven't done this quest. Well, the quest was issued and completed in the same turn. That I had to double take there. I was like, raiding? Since when did we have a raiding quest? Okay, so let's just read the quest quickly. Destroyer was forged by the Witch King himself as a symbol of his determination to rid the world of High Elven kin. The touch of the Destroyer is especially potent against mages. It is a momentous piece of weaponsmithing, and yet it has never been blessed by the elven maker god Val. Malekith considers it a great insult that the god has not deigned to heap praise upon him for his great work. The Witchkin, while brooding about this, decides to salve his mood with an outing, and I guess it was just raiding. So if that's complete, what's the next part of it? The raids prove a vague distraction, as do the screams of the slaves. But with the vortex swirling out of control, Malekith cannot afford such time ruminating. He decides to tackle Val's snub head on. If the god will not come to him, then he shall force matters. To start with, Destroyer will need to be slaked in much blood. We've got to kill 500 enemies in battle. That's just going to happen at Grond anyway. Okie dokie. Well, unfortunately guys, it has been my time. I am going to leave it here. Sorry for this one being a little bit shorter than usual, but I am having to go. So, we will slaughter Grond in the next episode and take the gold for ourselves. Then we will chase down the rest of the faction Grond until they are destroyed. That's it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.